Change today, choose Fairtrade.
The Fairtrade label has been in Australia since 2003, where it was only Fairtrade coffee that was available through select cafes and retail outlets such as the Oxfam shops. That grew through to 2009, where the Fairtrade market was over $50 million, and that was a 55% growth on the year before. Now, through that market, Australians are supporting cocoa growers in Ghana, tea plantation workers in India, as well as cotton growers in Mali, and numerous other examples. That growth has also allowed us to now invest back in the Pacific, where we're creating opportunities for producers to get into the system and allowing, hopefully in the future, Australians to be able to support their Pacific farmers through their fair trade purchases.
The early days of Fairtrade, they were kind of really exciting because I felt it was new age for us. But the inception was about August 2006, when our clients approached us and said, you know, we want to know what Corporate Express is doing with Fairtrade. And we kind of then approached our suppliers and asked them the same question, what are you doing with Fairtrade? And we identified that there was a line within our business that we could adopt Fairtrade in, and that was the coffees and teas.
The Fairtrade label is a third-party certification system that ensures that a product carrying the label has been verified against certain fair trade standards. The core part of those standards is the fair trade minimum price, which ensures that when a product is bought as fair trade certified, that the farmer is paid a fair price for it. And this allows the farmer to really have that pricing stability and that insurance that the price they receive doesn't drop below their cost of production and is really sustainable in terms of the way they run their business. On top of the fair trade minimum price is the fair trade premium, and that goes to the community and the farmers to invest back into environmental services, health, education, infrastructure, and anything else that they feel they need to tackle poverty for themselves.
Well, from a personal perspective, it's about not contributing to poverty. It's about being fair, not benefiting from other people's poor circumstances and contributing to them. From the perspective of the university, it ties in with our university value of responsibility, which we hold quite strongly here. There's a strong culture of responsibility and sustainability at La Trobe University.
Today we've put on a stall for O Week just to promote Fairtrade and get people just knowing about it on campus. For me, Fairtrade is really important because it kind of epitomises what development is about. The response has been really good. We've got heaps of people sign up and just been able to chat with lots of people. We've also got a display of Fairtrade goods just to show people what kind of things are out there, because I think a lot of people only know about coffee and chocolate and tea.
I have been using Fairtrade products for 4 years since my international studies teacher told us about the benefits of using Fairtrade products. She pretty much told us that if we are to buy Fairtrade products, that we'll be helping to alleviate poverty in third world countries, helping people to get fresh water in their communities, helping people eat. So I've been using them ever since.
A great example of how the fair trade system works and how it benefits farmers is in East Timor, where the Fair Trade Premium has funded Cafe Clinic Timor. That now reaches over 100,000 farmers around East Timor in quite remote areas, as well as their families and their communities. The impact that has had on things like postnatal care, infant mortality and immunisation has been absolutely fantastic.
What you find is that when you're engaging your staff and advising them what fair trade means, they'll always make that choice of fair trade. it's the conscience takes over, but also I think what they're doing is supporting outside communities, and it's an exciting thing.
Quite often Fairtrade products are organic as well, so it's better for me, it's better for the producer, everyone's happy.
There's a lot to be gained in terms of people's general well-being for doing something ethically. So if you have a coffee, sometimes you go, I shouldn't have a coffee. But if you go, oh, it's fair trade, this is good. So it's good for me, it's good for someone else. And so the actual doing those sorts of things, leading the community, promoting something that's both ethical and sustainable, it generates people thinking about, well, what is sustainability? It leads on to many different beneficial things for council. So if people start thinking within their own department of what's a good sustainable way of doing something, they may change a practice.
I'm often telling my friends at uni when we go and grab a coffee between classes and stuff to just look out for the little Fairtrade logo when you go into cafes and that kind of thing. It's just that little blue and green logo, and that, yeah, they should buy Fairtrade because they'll really be helping people in third world countries and make sure they get paid a fair wage.
If their favourite cafe or store doesn't stock Fairtrade, let the owners know that if they stock Fairtrade, you'll support them and you'll buy it. Organisations can get involved in Fairtrade through the Fairtrade Community Scheme, which is a scheme set up to recognise workplaces, faith groups, schools, universities, or even cities and councils for their commitment to fair trade, and they're creating fair trade awareness.
It's a really good way of changing people's behaviour and making them more aware of the issues around fair trade.
Make the swap to fair trade.
Make the swap to Fairtrade.
Make the swap to fair trade.
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 You can make a difference. Change today, choose Fairtrade.